Welcome back to the back nine of the final round of the Memorial Championships. I'm Missy Gannon.
And I'm Madison Walker.
We want to give a big shout out to GK Pro and Discraft and the Disc Golf Pro Tour for bringing us such great coverage of the FPO rounds all weekend long. We've got a commanding lead from Paige Pierce at 30 under par so far. A good battle going on at second between Jennifer Allen and Henna Blomroos. And Eveliina's sticking in there. There's a lot of birdies to get on this back nine, and let's see the action.
Vista's a pretty awesome finishing course. Fountain Hills is a beautiful place. It's super scenic, but I love the final nine of Vista. There's a couple par fours sprinkled in there. There's some birdie opportunities, and then we finish out with some really difficult holes and one short birdie hole. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Speaking of difficult holes, hole 10 is pretty difficult. I mean, it is a par 4, but it's 651 feet. There is a Mando to contend with right off the tee. Also pretty low ceiling, as well as a hillside on the right side. So it's easy to kind of burn one into the hill, but really we're just looking to keep something like a driver a little higher, even maybe a mid-range if you want to stay a little straighter, and try to get a lot of distance off the tee, and then also have another big shot on your second shot up to this green. I remember there was a lot of wind on this green specifically. I didn't feel it much on the fairway, but once you get to the green, there's some wind coming over that hill on the right.
Yeah, it opens up and definitely lends way to the wind to just do whatever it wants. I think we'll see a lot of these ladies throwing flex shots that hopefully finish to the right, but you don't want to be too far to the right, because the more left you are, the more wide open your next shot is, as long as you don't tango with the trees that are way to the left. Mm-hmm. We'll definitely see some threes on this long par 4. Jen burns one over into the hill like Missy was talking about, but she will still be able to get up and down to the pin with her distance. Mm-hmm. Wow. Paige and Henna throwing pretty similar shots, trying to flex around that corner more than I would be comfortable with. I like to hyzer something out a little bit more.
Yeah, that was an FD from Henna, so you can definitely tell she was trying to get a little bit more of a turnover, maybe a little flex out at the end.
Eveliina opts for the wider hyzer route. There are some trees you'll have to deal with, but I just like it over there better. I think it opens up the second shot big time. Jen trying to go with a big turnover, but doesn't turn it over at all. She'll hyzer out and flirt with out of bounds. And she'll also have to deal with this gazebo that's on the left side of the fairway while approaching the green.
Henna going back to her FD.
Oh, yeah. That was beautiful. She turns it maybe a little bit more than she wants, so she'll have a long putt, but love the idea.
Eveliina going turnover forehand. Tickles the tree a little bit, might have slowed her down. It looked like it was flexing out nicely.
Is that a destroyer?
Yes.
Yeah, look, she probably wanted to flex it a little bit more than that, but that tree branch might have nicked her disc angle up a little bit. That's a tough flex shot.
Paige going with a banger, looking to just have a putter hold that turnover line. Looks like she gets right inside circle 1.
She really uses all the height on that to get it to glide far. Mm-hmm. Something that my brain can't quite wrap around yet, but she does it really well. Jen literally butted up to this pole. Goes for the sky hyzer over the gazebo roof. Wow.
That was really great.
So good.
She had so much to think about. Yeah.
Wow.
It was
wow.
Not the upshot she was looking to have.
But she executed.
Yeah.
Eveliina with a really long birdie putt. Looked awesome. Just a tad low. Paige finding chains for a super long birdie putt. Paige, the only birdie on the day. We'll watch Henna try to get her par here.
Great cleanup by Henna. Little team love.
Yeah, they're all three of them are super close buds, so I'm sure this was like a fun buddy day, playing with the homies. Hole 11's a par 4. It's shorter than the last 2 par 4s we've seen. It's 543 feet, but the out of bounds is a lot tighter. There's out of bounds just to the inside of those rocks on the right-hand side and the sidewalk all the way down the left. There's one Mando we have to deal with about 3/4 of the way down the fairway as we fly by right now. The green is slightly sloping from right to left, and the OB pinches a little bit tighter towards the basket as we get down there. I think we're going to see a lot of threes from the lead card. This is definitely one of the more gettable, birdieable par 4s.
Paige opting for a mid-range. That's her Tour Series buzz. Just trying to keep it straight, right in the middle of the fairway. I think it's a great play.
Yeah, there's no reason to bite off a lot off this tee. We might see Jen trying to bite off a lot just because that's what she's good at, but there's no real reason to. You can throw 2 under 300-foot shots and easily get a birdie. This is why it's tough to want to bite off a lot, because if you really don't land your disc super flat, that can happen so easily. But she gets past the Mando tree, so she will have a wide open fairway to deal with after. Henna throwing a sharper hyzer angle than I would expect, but is that a mid-range?
That's actually a beast.
Okay. Gets a little skip. Stays in bounds by a hair. Eveliina looking like she's grabbing her TL3 again.
That's right.
Take notes, folks. TL3s are awesome. There might be some with my name on them later this year. Spoiler. Shameless plug. Paige just pitching a banger up.
Nicely done.
Loved seeing the forehand approach from Eveliina.
Spike one into the green. Perfect.
Oh my gosh, she's just dancing from OB to OB, right on the edge. Thankfully gets a little love back into the fairway. She'll have a pretty steep downhill putt. Jen pitching up for her par. Nose down putt works perfect for this type of shot.
Right.
Easy bird. Living on the edge the whole way. 60% of the women's field birdies on this hole. No surprises there. It was really nice. We had with these afternoon tee times, we were hoping to have bigger galleries, especially on this final day. And it was really awesome to see a big chunk of the gallery walk over after the men's round finished right around now. And so.
Hole 12 is a par 3, 282 feet. You're carrying water for almost the entire flight. That rocky area on the edge of the green is all out of bounds, so you really have to commit to either like a mid-range or a fairway driver. I think we'll see a lot of, it's uphill the entire way, so another elevated basket as well. So I think a lot of these ladies are looking to maybe play a little bit wider, get a little skip towards the basket. Paige actually looks like she's going banger, so she might be going a lot straighter at the basket.
Did she throw a banger here yesterday?
I think she actually might have.
Okay.
They're a little bit overstable, but she's definitely looking to go straight at it. She'll find herself just outside the circle.
Yeah, she barely gets over that gun night, but it's nice because she doesn't have a death putt now.
Right.
You might see a lot of these lead card ladies going a little bit deep of the basket, and that sets you up with kind of a scary putt. Henna following suit, throwing a putter as well.
That's her P2.
Wow. parked with the P2.
Spotter loved it.
Is Eveliina here with the TL3 or the Rock 3?
She is going with actually Thunderbird.
Thunderbird, okay. She's got a bunch that are the same color.
Mm-hmm. Gotta love that bright day glow green.
Mm-hmm. Inside circle, that was an awesome shot. Jen taking something a little bit more overstable, floating it way out to the right.
Perfect.
Is that a putter?
That was actually her Rock 3.
The way it landed was so soft.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Just a little low.
Nice birdie from Henna. 40% of the women's field taking birdies today. We get to watch 3 of the 5 that happened on the lead card.
Even when you're that close, you just sort of have to make sure on these elevated baskets that you're,
take your time.
Yeah, just a little
Breathe
bit.
a little bit. Focus. It's so awkward. Paige holding on to her lead. Jennifer and Henna now tied for second place, so we get to watch a battle going into the last few holes. Eveliina holding on to fourth place fairly comfortably. Moving on to hole 13, it's another water carry. It's par 3, it's 405 feet. It's a little bit out of the range that most of the FPO field would be able to claim birdieable, especially because it is super low ceiling and super tight. You have to throw something low and maybe want to get a little bit of a forward flare if possible. You do not want to flare to the left, however, because there is a mando tree as we are flying by right now. The basket is situated right on the edge of the water, probably 15 feet away, so it makes for some scary putts, especially if you are a little bit short.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a tail crosswind on this hole.
Kind of going destroyer, trying to flip it up maybe. She might have caught something or just got knocked down by the wind. She'll be right in the middle of the fairway though.
Yeah, throwing hyzers in a crosswind is hard.
Yeah.
Eveliina flips her destroyer a little bit, but catches a branch. Oh no! What a mean bounce. Jen taking to the sky. Even though there's not a lot of sky to work with, but she finds her way to the fairway. Triples down. Normally, if you hit that tree, you basically are headed straight for the drink. So that was a nice.
And you get to like watch it plinko down right into the
whole
water.
way, going no, no. Paige makes the same mistake. No. No.
Yeah.
Surprised to see them throwing high. I wonder if they were trying to go high or if they just ripped up a little nose up on accident.
Yeah, maybe, from what we saw yesterday, I think at least the 3 out of the 4 women that we saw yesterday threw sort of that straight line.
Super linear.
But again, the wind was up a little bit. Maybe just got in their heads or, trying to change their game plan.
Yeah. This is a scary hole with no wind, so.
Yeah.
And comfortably throwing an approach, acting like there's no water back there.
That was a great angle to see just how close that basket is to the water.
I feel like a lot of players, when approaching this hole, you'll see them coming up short on their approach. So it's crazy to see these ladies just gunning them in there.
Yeah. Come on.
Wow.
Yeah.
She finds it.
Great putt.
Nice 3 from Jen. Eveliina looking to save a bogey here. No birdies on the day on this hole. I'm not surprised by that at all. This hole is so tough for the women's field. Paige looking to save a bogey here as well. Scary putt. No problem.
Same for Eveliina.
Hopefully that's all the water we'll see today. For these FPO lead card ladies.
Hole 14 is a par 4, 655 feet. There are a few Mando trees to contend with that sort of just are down the left side of the fairway. Typical play is a wide hyzer, just to make sure you are, well clear of the Mando trees, and also just you'll get a nice skip towards the center of the fairway. But yesterday we did see a lot of these women go up the middle, so that's definitely a more committed shot that you really have to make sure you keep something straight. And then it's another big drive to the basket with maybe a mid-range or fairway driver.
Yeah, back-to-back 350-foot shots, and you got yourself a birdie.
Mm-hmm.
Jen going up the gut again. Lands nice and soft and straight.
Great forward skip.
So much spin on that disc. Henna choosing the fairway up the gut as well. Trusting their discs. Throws almost an identical shot.
Yeah.
The return of the disc golf robots. It's like about the same. It's so crazy. Excellent
Great
shot from Eveliina. Was that a destroyer too?
That was a tee. No, that was a strike.
Oh, strike. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that yellow disc.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's the wide hyzer we were talking about.
Honestly, surprised out of everyone on the card that Paige does it, because she can easily push that Mando tree, as you can see her kind of glide by. Mm-hmm. But she controls her disc really effectively. Lands to the left of the Mando tree.
What's nice about it, though, is if, especially where Paige's drive landed, she might even be able to just go easy mid-range up there. I mean, she got so far down there, but yeah, you do have to push that Mando tree.
Eveliina doesn't quite get over on it. She'll be way left, but just outside the circle. Henna parks her P2, no prab. Jen throws a really nice shot, but catches some little willow tree or eucalyptus leaves that knock her straight out of the sky.
And I said mid-range, but of course I should have said putter, because for me, maybe a mid-range.
Wow. Putter comes in screaming, but checks up right at the edge of circle 1. Jen from circle 2. Can't decide if it was a layup or just a really nasty tailwind, but she'll be right up in there for 4.
Yes.
Wow.
Great birdie, Eveliina.
There we go. Spectator loves it too. In his popsicle. Paige from Circle's Edge for birdie.
Nicely done.
Yep, another birdie. 5 birdies on the day, all from some distance throwers, people that are really good at controlling their distance drivers. Jen's super close, but she'll take a par.
Hole 15 is a par 4, 450 feet. Right off the tee, it's a big hyzer bomb. You may even be able to get some nice ground action towards the basket. I think a lot of these ladies are trying to push as far as they can deeper so that they have maybe a more wide open approach to the basket. But even if you land a little bit shorter on a hyzer line, you still have multiple straight lanes right to the green. Sort of where the drone is following, that tree can come into play, but usually a little nice hyzer forehand chip shot or straight backhand putter shot should do the trick.
Good to see Owen on tour again. I think we were just watching her practice on that green. This is one of the few holes that we do have a women's tee pad. It takes about 200 feet, maybe 250 feet off the par 4 that the men play. 450 feet seems like a short distance for a par 4, but with how sharply it turns left, there's not a real way to get your disc all the way down there.
Right.
So just like Missy said, you'll see everyone trying to push straight as long as possible and hopefully have an open approach around the trees to the basket. Paige looked like she's lining up to get to the green. We know she can get something to skip down there. It's a lot more of an aggressive play with a bigger margin for error, but she has the room to go for it, and she sure does.
Yeah. You could see she threw that lower line, absolutely banking on big flare skips, which she ends up getting. Not flare skips, but nice big hovercraft skips.
Worm burners.
Jen also kind of going a little lower.
Catches some cabbage. She'll get knocked down, but she'll be able to get up and down.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the holes that you really want to get. Super birdieable par 3, obviously 450 feet with 2 shots as well within every FPO's range.
You could see Henna kind of having to contend with that pine tree, so she has to turn a little turnover shot. Comes up a little bit short. The wind definitely picked up here. I was done with my round, and I ended up coming over here to kind of check out the lead card as they finished up, and it was pretty windy.
You can see it played with Eveliina's putter on her approach, bringing it a little bit further than I'm sure Eveliina wanted it to go. Paige trying to get that deuce.
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly. Yeah. Jen for birdie. Yeah. Just a little low again. This basket is slightly high too. Not elevated, but it's definitely higher than a normal basket. Eveliina looking for birdie here. Kind of an awkward straddle. Annie putt, doesn't find it. Looks like we are only going to have one birdie on the day on the lead card. Very surprising on this hole, but that wind definitely adds a super level of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Henna to save par.
Ooh,
backboard.
It's in. Eveliina's staring that one down.
Yeah, she's like, oh, God. That came out high. Easy birdie for Paige, moving into the final few holes. Hole 16 is a par 3. It's 390 feet. Although there is a short tee pad right here in front of us, they chose not to let us use that for the ladies' field. They want us to throw all of 390 feet way down here to a basket that's on a very steeply slanted right to left green. There's an out-of-bounds sidewalk that runs all the way down the left-hand side and a mando tree early on that isn't really in play unless you super saw something off. Most of this is going to be really metering how your disc lands on the drive or on the approach. Mm-hmm.
Still very windy, as you can see the trees.
Paige looks like she grip locks it a little bit, trying to pump that hyzer real wide. Knocks down just in front of the tee pad. Henna throws a beautiful flexing shot that lands flat right up to the green.
Yeah, that was her beast.
Okay. Pulling that thing out a lot today.
Mm-hmm. Eveliina going FD, just kind of trying to keep something low, out of the wind.
Love seeing them work these fairway drivers, something that a lot of FPO players don't really get the chance to throw on Vista del Camino because everyone's working distance drivers, but Jen rips over on it. The wind catches it a little bit too, but she'll have an easy up and down for par. Well, I say that, but
yeah,
this green is rough.
Yes.
There's no easy up and down.
No.
I asked someone yesterday, how do I land this disc? And they're like, does anyone really know how to land on this green?
I asked my caddy, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go up high and have it just skid down the hill. And I always throw it low, and it skids way down the hill.
So part of your plan works.
Yeah.
Paige has a really excellent up and down from way down there. It looks like she throws that buzz again. It lands perfectly. Jen comes in a little hot. Eveliina gets caught behind that one freaking tree.
Yeah, right.
That makes you not have any putt, even though you're way down there. Henna decides, I'm not going to mess around with rollaways. I'm just going to pitch up. One birdie on the day from the FPO field on this hole. I actually got to watch it. Congrats, Paige Shue. She had about an 85-foot throw-in. That was really cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, with that early tree hit, Paige will walk away with a bogey. So will Jen. That battle's still going on at second. Jen does lose a stroke on that hole, but this hole coming up is definitely a birdie hole. We are all looking to get hole 17, par 3, 243 feet. Most of us are throwing a putter. Maybe if you're going a forehand line, you might disc up to a fairway driver or something overstable. But very elevated basket. Definitely a hot green. If you come in a little bit too hot, you can get a weird skip, go out of bounds long. The wind was still up. It's going to continue to be up for the last two holes. Henna going P2, nice. It's going to be a little elevated, and again, the wind is up, and she will be more even with the basket, but it's still a scary putt.
I love how you say the wind is up like you're talking about the surf. Wind is way up. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your board.
Coming from somebody from Florida, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Eveliina throws a forehand with a rock, puts it way too far right, gets a little wind blast. But it's not out of bounds, but she will have a scary putt. Very scary putt.
You can see Paige asking for it to settle down because she knows that things can just get out of hand really quickly.
Mm-hmm. It's so easy to slide into that gunite. Jen throwing a really nice looking putter shot.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Eveliina says, nope. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Great comeback putt, though. Not the bogey she was looking for. She was probably trying to give herself a little bit of a cushion going into 18. She had a one-stroke lead. But now it looks like we're going to flip-flop.
Lead change. Second to last hole. Well, I should say second place change.
Yeah.
Paige looking for a birdie. Whew, a little high. That wind might have lifted it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool angle right here, putting, looking down at this awesome gallery.
Yep. Thanks
to everybody that came out and watched the FPO field compete at the Memorial. It was super awesome to have you guys. Oh God, oh God, oh God.
You just let it go and you're just like, please, please, please.
Just I gotta trust myself. I gotta trust myself.
Right.
What I'm most excited about this season is just to play. I was playing 40, 30 tournaments a year for 12 years, and then that came to a complete halt. The most important thing I've learned is just have a little bit more patience. With patience comes more success.
And we move into the last hole, hole 18. It's a par 3, and very fitting here at the Memorial Championship that we are going to be carrying water to close out the day. It's 381 feet. It's not a line that's super gettable by a lot of the FPO players, but I mean, even in reality, a lot of the MPO players are laying up as well. It's just not quite worth it with this triple Mando, super fast green, and a basket right on the edge of the water. So we'll see a lot of players laying up with a putter or a mid-range and looking just to get their 3 and get out of there clean, especially because it was windy.
Yeah, you can see the water. It was a straight headwind. It's not a super far shot, so You're just trying not to turn something over and also trying not to throw something too overstable in this wind and end up in the water on the left.
Of course, you don't want to miss the double mando, but also you don't want to push up close to the double mando as well, the triple mando. Oh, Eveliina finds water. There's lines extending to the left and right on each of the mando poles, and if you hug up against them, it makes your second shot so difficult.
Paige still just trusting her putter to flip up and hold straight.
Kind of surprised to not see her not go for it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought she might try. But she's probably still thinking about ratings, not trying to do anything too crazy.
Right.
Henna puts a lot on it, but lays it up perfectly.
Yeah, that was her Rock X3.
Eveliina not quite reaching the mando yet. We'll still have to go through that before getting to the green. She throws a hyzer putter so perfectly.
Yeah, she luckily crossed over inbounds, so she's able to take it where it was last inbounds. The drop zone is kind of scary because it's pretty far away from the triple mando, so luckily she did not have to deal with that.
She's relying on a skip shot.
Yeah. That was a zone.
Jen, putter hyzer, jump putt.
Perfect.
Eveliina looking to save her bogey here. There we go.
Great putt. Nice big congregation of people right at Tournament Central.
Waiting to congratulate the Memorial Champ 2020. There we go.
There we have it.
With a commanding lead after shooting a legendary round at Fountain Hills yesterday. I mean at Vista del Camino yesterday.
Everybody congratulating her. I mean, you know, to have a lead like this is pretty unfounded, but it was a great showing from Paige all weekend. Congratulations to Jen Allen for solidifying second place. Henna Blomroos comes in at third place, and
Eveliina holds fourth place.
There we go.
Everyone kind of struggled out there in the wind. I was surprised to see the scores coming in, but and it was cool to see the lead card ladies really holding on to their positions. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Missy Gannon.
Thanks again to GK Pro and to Discraft and the Disc Golf Pro Tour for giving us some awesome ladies coverage. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching with us. We hope you enjoyed the Memorial Disc Golf Championship coverage, and we will be back with you at the next Pro Tour event. Please tune in, like, subscribe, GK Pro for life.